Hospital and IEP Urgent Care Emergency Services physician, Dr. Jacob SINKOFF. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you guys doing?
Doing really well.
Good.
We noticed you're sporting some summer IEP apparel today.
It is a nice day.
I know. I was like, I don't know if it's quite golfing weather out yet. If you can go maybe one hole at a time in between the storms that are coming through, and it's getting windy out there too.
Well, it is. It's a sign of spring, and
Yep.
with spring, a new season, we've got new health concerns.
Yep.
And I think, I've noticed allergies. Of course, we were in North Carolina where all the
Pollen.
trees are
Yep.
blooming. And
Yep.
did you notice? Did you get?
You know what's interesting is my daughter and I are allergic to our dogs. So we had no problems on
Yep.
vacation.
Yep.
That sounds like a familiar story.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have cats, and I'm allergic to our cats.
Yeah,
of
so
course.
vacation was nice. Didn't need inhaler, allergy
Yep.
pills, or
Yep.
anything.
You're
so
good
I
to
actually
go.
enjoyed the pollen part.
You're actually allergic to mushrooms too.
That is true.
Not really, but that's what he tells waitresses.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want him to slip one in. I want him to take it seriously. You know what I mean?
God forbid one gets in your mouth.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, the trees already are releasing pollen in Michigan already. So all the buds are starting. We're starting to get some pollen from the trees coming around. So those you can expect some of those allergies starting: runny nose, watery eyes. That stuff is all starting already.
What do you recommend people do to treat allergy symptoms?
So there's a lot of over-the-counter medications, non-sedating medications where you get these specialized kind of antihistamine medications that won't make you drowsy like a Benadryl would, so such as Claritin, Zyrtec. Things like that can really help. And also knowing what your symptoms are, maintaining a clean house. You can monitor, the weather reports every day, include, a lot of times pollen counts and allergy counts. So kind of knowing what you're allergic to, whether it's pollen, and certain times of day pollen can be worse. A lot of times it's in the morning is when trees release a bunch of pollen. So kind of maybe, doing your nighttime exercising or running outside at night as opposed to first thing in the morning.
Oh, really?
Can help. Yep.
Is it okay to take a over-the-counter allergy pill daily?
Yeah. So, especially when you're, during allergy season, absolutely, you can take it daily. In the morning, I think my wife wishes I would, so she doesn't have to hear me blow my nose every morning for 3 or 4 times. But yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't some of the pain medication that's designed for overnight that is to help sleeping, does that include some allergy medicine?
Sometimes it can. Sometimes especially kind of the Benadryl type allergy medications can cause some sedation with antihistamines. So some people use them for sleep. So usually for the daily ones, you'd recommend like a Zyrtec or are kind of, they block certain types of histamine receptors. They're not just kind of a blanket histamine blocker like Benadryl would be. So, but yeah, a lot of those, I think the Unisom will include Benadryl in there. So, for sure.
I would consider this past winter on the mild side.
Yep.
When you look at, the lakes didn't freeze over.
Yeah, I was gonna say I only got 2 days of ice fishing this year, and the
weather was still awful though.
Yeah.
But because it didn't get super cold for a long time, the insects. I'm concerned we'll see a lot more insects this spring.
For sure, yeah, absolutely. And then, insects all come into your house, and then it causes another problem is, when those insects die, it causes, you get dust mites and everything like that. So, so for sure with the, climate change and things like that, people have shown that, allergy seasons are getting worse. They're starting earlier. They're lasting kind of longer also.
What should you do if you've been bitten by a tick?
So that's a good question. So we get this question all the time in the emergency department and the urgent care for sure too. So ticks, mosquitoes becoming another huge thing with it getting warm out. Ticks are already out now. So obviously the concern with ticks is they're transmittable diseases. So the most common one people think about is Lyme disease. So Lyme disease is caused by a bacteria that's carried on ticks. And the tick has to be attached to you for, most people say 36 to 48 hours.
Oh, no kidding.
For it to get transmitted. But a lot of times where ticks attach, a lot of times you don't know this. It's kind of along the hairline. It's kind of in your armpits and things like that. So We recommend, obviously, hey, if you're outdoors, you're in an area that's, has a possibility of having lots of ticks, shower immediately when you get home. Try to protect yourself with clothing. But you would get worried when you get a tick on you and it's engorged, meaning it's big. So that kind of indicates that it's been attached for a little while. So obviously you want to remove that tick. So the recommendation is kind of grabbing it by the base of the, head and pulling directly straight from the skin, not trying to twist, or else sometimes those parts can break off. A lot of times we'll see people in the emergency department or urgent care and, have to take a needle and kind of scrape that piece off. So, signs of Lyme disease include kind of flu-like illness to start with, and then you'll get a characteristic rash that a lot of people know about. It's kind of like it's a target-like rash, so it looks like the target symbol. It's called erythema migrans is the name of the rash. And things like that, you would want to get started on antibiotics to help the progression into Lyme disease, because it's something that's very easily treated. And there's only certain types of ticks will transmit that disease to, which is the deer tick. And in Michigan, the common one people will see is a wood tick. So obviously, and then they're just gross. So I think we can all agree on that. So
have you ever had a tick?
Not that I know of.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if I've seen one.
And the thing is like, and even if you're not in the woods, it's the same for your dogs, cats, if you have an indoor-outdoor cat, they'll be crawling all over them so they can get pulled into the house. And just keeping an eye out for them is very important. And obviously, if you see signs of having that rash, you'll want to come in and get antibiotics or find those engorged ticks. Antibiotics are often indicated. But the main thing is they have to be on you for a decent amount of time to transmit
get the yard spray
Lyme
too.
disease.
Also,
No, go ahead. Sorry.
mosquitoes. It's going to be. We'll see mosquitoes pretty soon.
Mosquitoes are coming out, very soon, I'm assuming, and every year it's kind of West Nile virus. Every year it kind of creeps up higher and higher in the United States. So it's prevalent in Michigan. There's the equine encephalitis.
And we've sprayed in our community over the last few years.
So just making sure, obviously mosquitoes come out more kind of around dusk. So wearing long sleeves if you're going to be out in the boat or out watching fireworks at that time of day. But something to be aware of that it's going to be time if you have standing water in your yard and are able to get rid of it, or have those are areas where the mosquitoes can reproduce, and just getting rid of some standing water in your yard can make a big difference too.
Does your family have a favorite brand of mosquito repellent? Because I haven't found one that works well yet.
So
do you? No.
The problem is I don't know if the best is probably that 100% DEET stuff, and then you read online, it's like, is that the best stuff to be wearing? So what we do, I obviously try to just wear long sleeves. You can get some, this will help with ticks also. They'll make clothing now, which is impregnated with a medication. It's actually called permethrin.
Oh, wow.
So it can help keep mosquitoes away and ticks away. And I think it you get hats with it embedded and shirts, and I think it survives like 50 washes or something.
Oh, wow,
like
that's
that.
cool.
So I've been trying to do that, but otherwise we try to stay away from a lot of the mosquito stuff, especially with young kids. A lot of it, hasn't been tested on kids. But it's hard. But when I'm really battling stuff, I'm out trout fishing or something, I try to do the 100% DEET. But I wouldn't recommend that long term.
Andy gave up candy for Lent. Is there any danger to overdosing on Sunday if he goes all out and?
Probably.
Probably
get a bad stomach.
For sure, I'm planning on a bad stomach ache. I'm planning on a bad stomach ache. No,
What's the first candy you're going to have?
I think I don't like candy anymore, believe it or not. So we'll see.
Let's stick with chocolate.
Do you have an Easter tradition?
No, we're gonna actually. My wife and my daughters, and I'll try to make it over there after work today. We're doing eggs today.
Oh, very nice.
So So.
Appreciate you guys appreciate you coming in today, and all that you guys at IEP and Henry Ford Jackson Hospital do for the community.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Dr. Jacob SINKOFF from Henry Ford Jackson Hospital and IEP Urgent Care.